Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Oreo Express, Josh here. It is Monday, April 7th. I hope you're all having an extraordinary beginning of the week. Let's take this week and whoop it, guys. Happy Monday to you. Let me jump into the comments really quick. I hope you guys all had a fabulous weekend. We had some great weather here, had some good times. Caden got his first T-ball game in the books for this year. He did T-ball last year too when he was 3, but now he's 4. He's knocking them out of the park. We'll show you a little of that. Show you a little bit of the hands-off protest and what was going on there. You'll notice the same thing I did. These people look like me. There's no diversity at these hands-off protests. And we're going to get into that. Let me make sure the comments. Okay, good. We don't have there's no audio. Right when I go live, man. Monday morning, got all this stuff figured out. Go live, and it starts an update in OBS software. And I'm like, wait a second. So it updates. Then it says I have to restart the whole computer to get the virtual camera working. It was a nightmare, but thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the EU and, the panic of tariffs. And then we're going to announce a little raffle for this week since it's the beginning of the month and we are extremely behind on everything. So we'll get into all that here shortly. We got Cade, Texas says, howdy, Josh and Oreo Army. Great day to be an American. Absolutely. Trina's in the house. Hello, Trina. Pixie. Uh-oh, guys. We got the cuss jar in the house. Old Uncle Bill's here. What's up, Old Uncle Bill? Jan Garner says, hello, all storms are over and I'm safe. Yeah, there's been some crazy storms out there. Continued prayers for those folks in those affected areas. 60s Patriot says, hello, Josh in chat. Micro Taz, how are you doing? Matthew 44G says, hello, Josh. Hope you had a great weekend. You know what? It was a great weekend. We got a lot of stuff done. I'm telling you, we had Caden's first T-ball game. And I tell you about it all the time. Month of April is my favorite month in where I live, rodeo month. So we started off with Big Hat Days and got to hang out there. I love that place. Nola jumps in the house. Hello, Nola. How are you doing? So we're going to start to get into it, guys, this morning. We got, again, a lot of stuff on the hands-off protests that were around the country. A little bit of who's behind them. But you know what, though? I got to show you this. Let's see. Oh, they're all going to take a minute to load since I had to reboot my computer. So we had this little guy. He just his own hat, man. He's pretty fly for a white guy. That's Caden out there at his first T-ball game of this season. He was out there having fun. And then I did this slow motion video. I want to show you guys of him. Some of you already seen it. If you follow on X. If you don't follow on X, I don't know what's wrong with you. Right, Red Wave? Tell him. Follow on X. So, again, he had his first game Saturday morning. So check this out. Check this video out. Look at this swing. We've been working on it for about 5 weeks. About twice a week, we go over to the high school and we throw the ball. We catch grounders. Check this out. Look at this swing. Oh, we got to see that again. That's like MLB style swing. Look at that. That was just absolutely epic. So we had a good time Saturday morning. He's loving T-ball. Next, I think it'll be probably about 6 weeks, 7, 8 weeks. We'll be practicing soccer again. So it was definitely fun out there. And then later on, we went to Big Hat Days. And we were out at Big Hat Days for a little while. He got to ride some rides. I have to show you. I didn't upload it Let me see if I can really quick, and then because it's just too funny. If you guys again, and the only reason I do that is because Caden, like I was telling someone the other day, we were talking, and they're like, "Man, Caden's kind of been raised through Oreo Express, like his extended family and everybody. He's definitely you know, part of the Oreo family for sure. I haven't kept him hidden. And you know what? You guys are right. He is part of the Oreo family. I got that uploading right now to the server, so it'll just be hopefully 1 minute. It's waiting. There it is. Uh, uh, he got to drive. Save the downloads. He got to drive in one of those little merry-go-round Jeep things, and he was just absolutely loving it there. And of course, we were out there supporting red, white, and blue. The MAGA man himself, Trump, he was out there. Look at that big old smile. That's while it was going. He did good. And what was funny, guys, is he got this one, and he was watching the one next to him. And let me show you the one next to him. Hold on. Options, open. So I'm going to show you this. I have to move some stuff around. I hate when we do videos like this. So take a look at this. So at first, and I can't zoom in on this like I can when I have it on my iPhone and everything else, but he's seen this roller coaster, and he was 2 inches taller than what needed to be. And he was like, you know what? I want to go on that one. So we put him on that one. Take a look at this. And he was all smiles till about 5 seconds after this thing started going. Take a look at this. He was just holding on for dear life. It was just hilarious. We were laughing so hard. My daughter, my older daughter, is one that at a very young age, she wanted to go on the scariest stuff there was. I mean, just totally shocked us. So it was just interesting to see all that. And so again, he had fun. We had a blast, and it's just a blessing to be able to do that this weekend. Especially again, Clovis, we got the rodeo coming up pretty soon. It's going to be fun. All right, guys. So I told you before, let's see. I don't have it on the thing, but that's okay. We do have a raffle. Again, you guys know it's the beginning of the month. We got a lot of bills to pay. I don't think we've covered 10% of them yet. And everything from lights, camera, action, our data, everything that we you guys help supply us with here. So we're going to do a little raffle, see if that'll help us out. You guys know how the raffle works. If you guys want to get involved, you can donate in increments of $10, any amount, or if you do 50, that's 5 entries, and we will do the raffle live on our show at the end of the week. So if you want to get in, the ways to get in are Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024, or we have a Zelle link, and that Zelle link is on our website, theoreoexpress.com. You can go over there, click the donate now button. It's all there. And you guys, we are 100% viewer funded. You guys are what keeps us on the air. Let me show you what you're doing. And again, you can do Rumble rants, but it takes a month for us to get that money. So it takes a long time to get here. So that don't pay this month's bills. It's appreciated. You could get in that way, but we prefer Venmo, GiveSendGo, Zelle, or Cash App. Take a look at some of this stuff. It's kind of especially with the tariffs, we got to hit them harder than a Trump tariff, right? Kind of like that 1775 coffee. We got the Donald Trump lives here stamp. So every time you get some money, you could put this on there and get it and just trigger some folks. Just trigger some folks. This is one of the items. This is another one. Now, I like this one. I like this one. This is epic because I love the hair. I love the hair on the side. This is Keep America Great. Can koozies. You got to love that. You got the Trump hair. And so I like that one. I like that one. I know Caden will too. Then we got this sign. It's about 8 by 12. So a foot by a little less than a foot. And it says, notice, this place is politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas, one nation under God. We salute our flag and give thanks to our troops. If this offends you, leave. So great for a man cave or outside your house, anywhere actually. If you have a back patio and you just want to be celebratory in America. And then we the people have had enough. This is a laminate sticker for the back of your vehicle or anywhere else you want to put it, but mainly for the back of your vehicle. And so those 4 items, you might get lucky. Last time I added something, I might add something this time. But again, this is to help fund, pay the bills, keep the phones on, keep the data on, because without you guys, we can't do that. So I just want to say thank you. Nola says she's having internet issues. Oh my gosh. Nola switched over to Matt and Jaylen's Obama service over the weekend, their Obama internet. Sorry to hear that, Nola. I hate when that happens. Doesn't happen very often here, but when it does, it kills me. It kills me. So let's get into some of the clown world stuff, and then we're going to get into the news. We're going to get into all the stuff, hands off, and how crazy these protesters were over the weekend. Something that you'll notice as well as I will. You know, the fact that, man, these folks are white, all white. So just tonight, just something I wanted to roll by you. They had mayor of Boston. You know, she's anti-American, pro-illegal. I think it was great. She was at the Red Sox game. What do you think they did to her? Listen to that. Booed at the Red Sox games, guys. Booed at the Red Sox game. That's again, she's the one that's putting illegal aliens ahead of American citizens. And it's just sad. It's just sad. See what else we got here as we move in. Okay. Now, we always talk about the protected class. And for a long time, that protected class, it seemed to, and I'm just giving a fair analysis from what we've seen over the years, like, and again, we talked about it. We talked about some of the outrage for Democrats, and that's what it was. You know, if you were black, you were automatically innocent. You could do no harm. You know, and this isn't what everybody was thinking. There's a lot of people that said, hey, you did the crime, you do the time. But I'm talking about from the Democrat standpoint. This black woman met her DEI match right here. Take a look at this.
I'm a faggot, bitch. And I'm a fucking faggot. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
So what? I'm
so
a
what?
faggot. So what?
So what? I'm an Asian faggot and you're a black woman. What are we gonna do about it? Why does it matter?
Asian, so he gets like that double. Well, actually, Asians aren't protected under the Democrat rule anymore. They succeed too much. They do too well. When you look at their income and everything else, they're just doing way too well. So he still only has the gay part that makes him a protected class.
First thing in the morning? I am the Asian faggot. What are you gonna do about it?
Go on, Jack.
I am!
Okay.
What are you gonna do about it, huh?
You're mad. You're mad.
You're mad too, bitch.
You're a mad faggot.
You're mad too, bitch. Oh, this is that bad bitch and you know it. And that's why you're mad on me.
You're still going. You're mad.
Yeah, I am mad. You're mad too, bitch.
Okay.
Okay!
Oh, no. Now you harass me because you spit on me.
Because you called him a faggot, bitch.
Harass me because you spit on me. Also, white men ganging up on a black woman.
Wow, great optics for you. How about a straight person calling gay people faggots?
Yeah, that's right.
How about that?
That's right.
Oh, a straight person called me a slur.
you had that and she had to play the victim part. Oh, people blaming it up on a black woman. No, you guys deal with your own issues, but it's not too often that we get to see this play out quite as well as we did in that scenario. Just absolutely insane, guys. Insane. Colorado State Rep Yara Zokai, Democrat, doubles down on calling parents who are against transing their kids as hate groups. So again, if your kid comes home, again, going through gender dysphoria, some other mental health issue, and you're like, we need to get this kid help. No, we're not going to mutilate you. You are now part of a hate group. And it says Democrats in Colorado want to take away your kids if you refuse to mutilate them. Listen to this. Again, there's a good reason why Democrats got their ass handed to them. All 7 swing states. Pixie can put in 5 for that one. You know what? It's just absolutely, and they're doubling down. This is Rob's state of Colorado. I wonder if Rob's out there watching right now. You're doing a little construction work right now, Rob. We'll check in on you at the next show.
In committee, we heard a lot of opinions. We heard from groups that called trans community members groomers and pedophiles, that accuse our community members of heinous acts with children simply because they exist, because of who they are. And then we are asked why they are not consulted in the drafting of this bill. Groups that are actively making our trans community less safe every day, asking why their language was not taken into consideration on a bill to provide legal protections for transgender individuals. I will call those groups hateful, and I am not the only person who has done so. Some of the groups in opposition to this bill are on a list of hate groups maintained by one of the most well-known civil rights law firms. And yes, I will compare that to saying it's like asking someone working on civil rights legislation to consult with white supremacist groups. And I will do that unapologetically. By the way, parents groups that are inclusive are supported.
So if you guys want to protect children, it's the same thing as being in a white supremacy group. I'm telling you, it sounds like they're saying white supremacy is a good thing. That's what these people are rational. That's their rationale.
Supportive of this legislation. But the reaction to this bill really proves the point as to the risks involved just in being an ally to the trans community. Messages like, you sound like a groomer terrorist that need to be deported. Anyone who supports transgenderism in children deserves to be sent to the gallows. Round them all up. These people are sick pedophile groomers. I can't wait to see you tomorrow in person, you America-hating communist pig. Those are the ones I can read out loud in this chamber, because some of us here face extra hostility when we speak up. But I know that trans folks face far worse than what I do as an ally. And for them, it's not because of what they say or how they vote, it's because of who they are. And that's exactly why we have to pass this bill.
So they want to pass bills, guys, again, making it, making protecting your child abuse. Wanting to just like California, wanting to rip away your parental rights because your child has gender dysphoria or has some type of other mental issue where they're confused or something, and you want to be a parent and help them. You want to guide them along so they can have a normal life as they go through. I mean, there's going to be some stuff coming up. You guys are not going to miss this month, the next couple months. If we have the funding, there is so much stuff going on, and some of it has to do with this. And I never thought, but in the Bible, it says good will become bad, bad will become good. And that's what we're seeing. This person is sitting there trying to promote bad as good, trying to promote evil as good. And it's scary because there is a lot of kids that get caught up in this system, that get caught up with a groomer teacher, that get caught up in a circumstance where It's nothing. It's nothing less than sexual abuse. When you're so worried, you're a teacher, you're a council member, you're a state rep, and your whole existence is worried about a child's private area. I don't know what else we can do. I could tell you, millstone around the neck sometimes works. What else do we got here? What are we getting into? Check this one out. When we talk about teachers, when we talk about all this, we say we need to go through again. There is every day, especially we never heard about this before. Maybe because boys keep better secrets than girls, I'm guessing. But you're seeing more and more female teachers having sex with young boys and raping them and sexually assaulting them and everything else, where, you know, growing up, it was all, you only heard about that happening to young female students. But we're hearing all kind of things out of the school districts these days. This was another one. This was from Libs of TikTok. I can't believe this. Like, so let's just pretend. And we know this is pretend because a lot of these teachers are absolute whack jobs. They have no common sense. They're in there to indoctrinate your children. We've proved that with just Fresno alone. We've proved that in Clovis with the people that wanted to start the union, like Rainbow Hair and everybody else that was involved. This teacher here, this is from Libs of TikTok. It says, meet Stephanie Demetris, a teacher in Columbus, Ohio. She was arrested and charged in a murder for hire plot after allegedly offering a student $2,000 to kill her husband. She reportedly gave the student a $250 deposit. Can you imagine that? Like, again, I want everybody to be able to send their kids to public schools, and depending on where you live and your situation, it's usually not so bad, like preschool through third grade. But then when you most places, not all, but then when you have fourth grade and up, it's just insanity with what they want to teach you, how they want to reverse history, rewrite history, indoctrinate your children. We're going to be covering on our second show. There was a school here that was comparing in California that was comparing Elon Musk and Trump to, I think it was Hitler or Nazism. It was just insane, guys. It was just insane. And then you have this teacher here. Could you imagine? Like, you send your kids off to school. You know there's some bad going on. You know they could be picked on. You know they could be bullied. You hope your child will talk to you. You keep that open line of communication with them. And then you have teachers here that are offering students $2,000 to go kill her husband. Amazing. What else do we got here? Let's see what's rolling up next. Oh, this one's good. Bill Maher, Chris Cuomo and Bill Maher. Now, we cover Bill Maher occasionally. He says some bright stuff once in a while. Other times, not so bright. But they were talking about Jasmine Crockett and her comment on Governor Abbott. And they nail it on the head. Even some, I mean, I get Chris Cuomo's trying to rebrand himself. He's doing that exactly. I almost think like Gavin Newsom has watched Chris Cuomo try to rebrand himself from this far left to a somewhat moderate that has common sense. And I think it's all an act, just my personal opinion. I think Chris Cuomo is just the same person that was on CNN that was berating people that said, hey, I want alternatives to a jab, you know, calling all these people, calling Trump Hitler and all that. Now, all of a sudden, he's like, well, these people are crazy. Well, you are one of those people. And so listen to what they say about Jasmine Crockett and why she wasn't canceled. And they actually got it right.
Brain space. Right. There's a crippled character on you know, Joe the cop.
Yeah.
and they make 1,000 jokes about it.
But he's a comic.
But it just shows you that, you can joke about these things without
I'm fine with it. But when you cancel one person, because it's a black woman who's doing it, they're not going to cancel her.
Totally.
That's the problem.
You're right. She wears the magic armor. She wears a magic armor so she can do that. Yes, you're right. And both parties do that. Like when you're in our side, like if I made a fat joke about anybody in the world, how dare you from the left? If you make it about Trump or Chris Christie, it's just hysterical.
That's right.
That's what we got to get past.
I know.
That's those independent, what'd you call them? Independent and
critical thinkers.
Critical thinkers.
Like I tell people, I don't want the lemmings. I want the lions. You can have the lemmings. You got 45% of the country are happy to follow. Sheeple.
Oh, way more than that.
No, I think they just stay on the sidelines. I think they watch what's going on and they're like, these people are fucked up. Let me just stick to my regular life. Politics doesn't affect me anyway.
So again, has that armor. I want to listen to that again. Listen.
Right.
Doing it, they're not going to cancel her.
Totally.
That's the problem.
You're right. She wears the magic armor. She wears a magic armor.
So when you have pretty far left Democrats talking about somebody like Ghetto Jasmine Crockett, and they are sitting there saying, like, you can get away with anything. She can say whatever she wants about a disability. She can say about this, and she has the magic armor. Remember when we talked about white privilege? The truth is, guys, there's other privilege. And unfortunately, mainstream media won't show you that, talk about it, or do anything of that nature. I wonder what that one was. I missed one. I guess this one. Hopefully they don't all do that or we're in trouble. Okay. This was great. So Trump had the Los Angeles Dodgers over at the White House. Oh, I know which one it was. Hold on. I'm glad I remembered that. Watch this. Listen to what he says.
Senators here, I just
introducing. They have a couple California Democrat senators, and listen to what he says. He cracks me up.
Congratulations, Brian. And others, we have a couple of senators here. I just don't particularly like them, so I won't introduce.
Look at the crowd behind him just laughing and those grins. Look.
Over the course of this...
Look at this guy right here where the mouse is. Watch what he does. He looks over there like, is it okay to smile? That was hilarious.
Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team... I didn't think it was that big a deal, actually. Washington. Over the course of this amazing...
this man's personality, he is such a comedian so many times. Sugar Bear, hello. That's absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. We're going to watch it one more time because this is the laugh we need on a Monday.
Congratulations, Brian. And others, we have a couple of senators here. I just don't particularly like them, so I won't introduce. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team... I didn't think it was that big a deal, actually.
Oh, man. I love that guy. Check this out. Listen to what he says here after shaking hands with Max Muncy. Take a listen. Come on. Might have to refresh this one. Yep. Yeah, that's what happens. We reboot the computer. But you know what? The good thing is it all came back up.
And Max, right. And Max Muncy, I want to congratulate Max. Max. Come here, Max. These arms are very strong when I touch them. I'm used to shaking politicians and hitting their armors like Jell-O. And now it's like steel, all these guys. But Max is right.
Some days he's like his own old school Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live is not funny anymore, but when they actually had some comedy, that's just great. And then let's see what this one pulls up here. This is where he in the Oval Office, he welcomed Los Angeles Dodgers. How do you say his name? Shuhei Ohtani, I think.
It's a great honor. You're amazing.
Gives him a Trump challenge
Boy,
point.
oh
It
boy,
looks
what an
like.
athlete.
And 3, 2, 1.
You know what you do? And for your family. This is so great to have you. It's a great honor. You're an amazing athlete and person. Have a good time. Take a picture by the Declaration of Independence. It's great. That's a good one.
3, 2, 1.
What a guy. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. A lot of stuff going on. Now we're going to get into some of the fun stuff, I think. Let's see. Yes. So over the weekend, Saturday, you had your hands off. Again, this was a major majority white liberals who are in reality just dissatisfied with life. It was your trans groups, your Give Me Freebies groups, your pro-Ukraine groups, your pro-Hamas groups, not one pro-America group. And I thought this was funny. Tim McBride is a guy that impersonates a woman. And Tim McBride was elected. Listen to this little 30-second clip of Tim.
Medicaid. And we are here today because while we know that Donald Trump thinks that he can place his hands anywhere, we're telling him, hell no, hands off our Social Security, hands off our Medicaid, hands off Medicare, hands off SNAP, hands off our kids, hands off women's rights.
Hold on. You just said hands off women's rights. By you pretending to be a woman and you supporting men in women's sports, men in women's restrooms, boys in little girls' changing stalls. Do you not see the hypocrisy here? And then again, they're still saying the same thing. The Social Security. Nobody's cutting Social Security, sweetheart. I hate to break it to you. I know it's been big fake news that somehow, even though it's not listed in the bills, that somehow there's a magic, maybe a Project 2026. Maybe it's Project 2026, and it's going to come magically strip everybody away from their Social Security. Not going to happen. Then they say Medicaid. Not going to happen. Again, what they say, we're going to cut the waste, abuse, and fraud. You know what some of that fraud is? People that could be out, like I think it was Speaker Mike Johnson that said, if you're 29 years old and you're sitting on your couch playing your video game, we're not going to give you Medicaid. You are capable of working. And that should be the American way, right? We should help those out in need, but we shouldn't tell everybody they're in need, whether they are or not. And I find it amazing because, once again, what the fake news and ABC 30 wouldn't cover when we were at the Tesla protest, and I knew they wouldn't, was the fact that I came out and said on the interview, well, these people are saying, and I was talking about the Tesla protesters, that they're going to cut Medicaid and Social Security. But the fact is, we're in California right now, and the hypocrisy just stinks. The hypocrisy is that our Medi-Cal, which is Medicaid, is pretty much bankrupt. We spent $9.6 billion on illegal aliens healthcare in the last fiscal year. We've already had to, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, ask for another $3.44 billion because Medi-Cal said, hey, there's payments we cannot make and it's urgent. And then after that, asked for another $6 billion loan from the legislator to keep Medi-Cal solvent. When, if you add all those numbers up, if there were no illegals, we would actually have more money than needed in that department. So these people that pretend to care, They don't care. They don't care.
Hands off, LGBT.
You know, they keep saying hands off, hands off. Like, you know, Republicans have been saying this for a while. Hands off our tax dollars. Let it flow back to us, the American citizen. Hands off. You're right. You're right. Check some of this stuff out, and we're going to show you again what we're seeing. These are the type of things. Democrats are at an all-time low in approval with the American people. Look at some of this stuff that's out there.
We can't make it out alive.
You have a black person and like it looks like a mobility scooter. You have a white woman, two white, I guess the other one's a white woman, chained to the back of that mobility scooter. I guess that's the slave, I don't know, BDSM. And then you have Donald Trump crawling on all fours. And I'm not sure what the person in the, I don't know.
We can't make it out alive.
This was seen all across the country. These type of things, nothing normal, folks. Nothing normal by any stretch of the imagination. And then we had just more. We got quite a bit. Again, a white man, we're going to point that out, a white man is practically crying. Or no, this is what the hell is this? A white woman, I guess, that pretends to be a man is crying because she can't use the men's restroom anymore.
Florida or Utah.
What?
I can't pee in 4% of America right now. So
You can't pee in 4% of America.
in 4% of America, it is illegal for me to use the men's restroom in government buildings.
So, because of the biology bill that they just passed.
Yes, because I am biologically female, I cannot use the men's restroom in Florida or Utah.
What would you say to people who would say, well, just use the family restroom or a gender-neutral restroom if it's available? Like, what would your thoughts on that be?
What am I supposed to do if there isn't a gender-neutral restroom available? Am I supposed to just hold it? Or am I supposed to just wet my pants? Literally, there's no point to it other than to keep trans people out of the spaces they belong in, because, you know, they use the excuse of like, oh, how are you going to know if it's someone claiming to be a woman just to get into the women's restroom? And it's like, those people are going to be doing things in the restroom that are going to set off red flags. You don't need an additional law on top of that to keep trans women out. I can't.
So, again, you want to know what hands-off protests are about? We're showing you right now it isn't the average American getting out to fight against Donald Trump. That's not what you're seeing there. Not what you're seeing there at all. You're seeing a group of commies, a group of extremists, a group of people with TDS because they have other underlying mental health concerns that, you know, I pray they get the help. I pray they get fixed, but I honestly think, guys, it's going to get worse before it gets better. As we said earlier, what does the Bible say? You know, good becomes evil, evil becomes good. We've been talking about that for years. It's just crazy. So here was a list of some of the folks who helped sponsor this, some of the funding for that, and take a look at this. Oh, let's back it up. So you got, let's see, hold on. You have what I call 5150, the crazies. It's 5051 is what they call it. You have Accountable.us, AFL-CIO. How about that? AFT, Education, Healthcare, and Public Service. Look at all these unions in here. Americans for Tax Fairness, Arab American Institute, the Bay Area Coalition in California, Care in Action, Behind the Arc Jewish Action, Better Path Coalition, Bulletproof Pride, Catholics Vote Common Good, Center for Biological Diversity, Let's see. Center for Common Ground, Climate Action, a lot of climate stuff. Climate Psychology Alliance, Climate Hawks Vote, Color of Change, Christopher Street Project, the CFPB Union, Conservation Voters New Mexico, Corporate Accountability, Consumer Federation of America. I mean, just look at some of these guys. DSI Internet. Oh, look at that. Democrat Socialist of America, the people that love communism. Actually, that Democrat Socialist of America is tied to the firebombing suspect in Las Vegas. These are the people that are out. These are the people funding this. These are the people promoting this. What else do we got here? Fair Share America. Families Over Billionaires. Federal Workers Against Doge. It's just absolutely insane. Oh, there's Indivisible. Oh, there's the Human Rights Campaign. MoveOn.org. There you go. The same people that were wearing pink vagina hats in 2017. It's the same people out there. Look at Planned Parenthood. Oh, geez, what a surprise. Pride at Work. Rise Up. Rise and Resist. SEIU. The Climate Museum. Crazy, guys. These are the ones funding all this, and we have quite a bit on this. I just want to show you. It's hard. We did cover one black woman in a mobility scooter with two white people chained to her while somebody is crawling like a dog with a Donald Trump mask on. This was Walnut Creek, California. You decide what you see here. Again, this looks exactly like the Tesla protest. Most of this looks like a retirement center that has a few visitors there. Take a look. Look at that, folks. And again, this was all strategic. When Democrats said, oh, we are losing, we lost that election by a landslide, all 7 swing states, what can we do? What can we do? How can we rile up people? The people that we've lied to for so long, we're always going to have the alphabet mafia, the LGBT group. We're always going to have them on our side. We're losing the youth. We're losing the college kids. We see that every day. This is what Democrats are saying. How can we get people out? They did their little brainstorming, probably paid a couple $1 million to some polling group, and they're like, came back and said, senior citizens, tell them they're gonna lose health care and they're gonna lose their Social Security. That's what they started doing. Their whole thing is Trump's budget takes away your Social Security. You're no longer going to have Social Security. And then it changed after about a week and a half. Remember, we've kind of seen the progress. And then no longer is Trump going to cut it. They were getting called out too much. It's going to be hard for you to access your Social Security. The phone people, they've laid off the people that answer phones now at some of the Social Security, and they're going to shut down some of the Social Security departments. So, folks, Democrats don't want you to be able to get Social Security. How are you as an able-bodied person, when you apply for your Social Security benefits at 63, 65, 67, whatever it is, I mean, literally the week before, you were working a 40-hour week full-time job, and now they're acting like you're a vegetable in the hospital, and Social Security needs to come knock on your bedroom or on your hospital door. They did the same thing with Medicaid. There's no cuts to Medicaid. They're saying the same thing about SNAP. Now, SNAP, there does need to be a lot of cuts. I'm sorry. And the reason why I tell you that is because there's a lot of programs in this country that incentivize you not to work. And I know that for a fact. It's all the numbers are out there. We've covered it extensively. I worked with a woman who she actually worked for me for a few months. She was a temporary employee and she cut back her hours. And I asked her and she knew where we stood. We didn't talk much politics at work, but we joked. We called her our resident socialist. And so we're sitting there just having a conversation. And again, I've never utilized work for politics. I think people that, I think once I get hired on and people realize who I am, they're like, he's going to apply the same standards, to the conservatism, fiscally into our company. And so it was never a bad thing. And, I remember, they were paying for, she's working part-time, but she had to cut her hours. And when I asked her, I said, what's the reason for you needing to cut your hours? And she's like, well, if I work more than 20 hours a week, which she was physically able with her schooling, because it was night school, she was physically able to do 40 hours a week. She actually wanted to do 40 hours a week. She liked the job. And she's like, yeah, if I do more than 20 hours a week, they're going to cut off my food benefits. And they're going to make me, they won't cover my books and stuff for school. And I was like, so many incentives not to work. We need to reevaluate that. When people do need a hand up, not a handout, we need to find a way to give them that hand up. But it's been so, it's just been so crazy. So crazy. I think the next video is this video here, the one we took while we were getting ready to head to Big Hat Days. This was in Fresno, California, and I just wanted to say, hey, who's out here in Fresno? Is it your majority? And again, if you, this is just for, I guess you could say, talking purpose on this. White people are a minority in many parts of California, Fresno being one of them. We're a very diverse community. It's not that big of a deal. But to find white people to come out and you have hardly anybody else out there was just extremely crazy. Take a look at this. This was Sean Fresno. I want you to take a look at these people. Look at that sign, white. I drove by to see if I can find anybody that wasn't white in Fresno. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. And that white woman right there, definitely, she has a Palestinian, a Hamas supporting hat on, a Hamas little dishcloth around her neck. Look at this. Look at this. Now, he might not be, he might be something else, but he doesn't even look, he does look liberal. Look at that one right there. What else do we have? It's insane. Oh, let's back it up a little because we got it. We got to find the diversity. Oh, hands off my Social Security. Nobody cares about your Social Security. No, nobody's taking away your Social Security. But again, this is what Democrats did. They said, how can we have no support? So now they're sitting there touting the numbers of people that came out. And literally, when you see buses dropping these people off, you have to ask yourself, was this a senior center that, like, here's your field trip, like at the Tesla dealership when we were there? Just absolutely insane what we are seeing. I've never seen so little diversity in my life. Remember, the Democrats always say, oh, you go to a MAGA rally, it's all white people. We take you to MAGA rallies. We're like, no, not all right. Very diverse, especially in California. Probably, again, where you have a large portion of Hispanic population. There's a large portion of Hispanic population at the rally. It's amazing. But again, all they need to do is do this because, again, the PSYOP, they have fake news. Rachel tells me, I'm working on the show this morning. She goes, hey, they said there was like 1,500 protests on the news right now over the weekend and not one single arrest. And I was like, oh, there was arrest. I mean, we're not going to focus on arrests today, but there was arrest. We'll focus on one here in a little while. But that is the sentiment that fake news was put out. These aren't the people firebombing Teslas. They're not keying Teslas. Nobody was arrested this weekend. Hell, most of the people couldn't get out of their damn wheelchairs to do any crime. It's just absolutely amazing what we are seeing here. And again, listen to this. We love, man, I'll tell you what, you guys would consider me a racist if I just put Democrats on all day long. Think you guys know why? Because all these people at the protest, 90% are white. 90%. Kind of like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was more 60%. So take a look.
What is a citizen if they can dictate who's a citizen? They can dictate what is a.
Remember, this is the party of democracy. This is the party that's finally trying to tout the Constitution.
Citizen if they can dictate who's a citizen. They can dictate that someone is not a permanent resident just by their ideas, and they can dictate that you and I aren't citizens just by our ideas. There's more of us than there are CEOs and all of our. We're stronger together, and our labor has fueled this world. It's fueled these movements. We can bind together and create mass movements that can oppose regimes like this.
So I find that interesting that that woman was protesting in Chicago. They said our government shouldn't be able to dictate who is a citizen and who is not. So again, another open borders advocate. If your government has no say so on, then let's just move in the Taliban, kind of like Joe Biden did. There's some Houthis that want to get here and do another 9/11. Who's the government to decide if they can come? This is the mentality of many on the left. And it's just crazy. And I want you guys to, before we go on, we got a lot more of this. We are having a raffle this week. If you guys can get in and help us, it would be appreciated. Again, first of the month, it's actually the 7th, and we are extremely behind on the bills, the data, the lights, camera, action, and we are 100% viewer funded. So we have a raffle going on. We will do it at probably the end of this week, maybe Thursday, Friday, possibly Thursday, possibly Friday. We do them live. Let me show you what you're in for. One winner will be chosen, and you get this awesome Donald Trump lives here stamp. So you can put that on your bills when you get them. Good fun times, and it triggers the left. The koozie. Caden loves koozies. I got to get him one of these. This is the Keep America Great koozie. So when you're out barbecuing, it is springtime. It's going to be summer. It's going to be 4th of July. Check that out. Got the Trump hair, don't care type stuff. Then we got this. This is about 1 foot by 8 inches. A little sign for your front door, your backyard, your little cave, your relaxation station. It says, notice, this place is politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas, one nation under God. We salute our flag and give thanks to our troops. If this is offends you, leave. If this offends you, leave. And then we the people have had enough decal. So all that, if you guys want to enter and help us out, get caught up, you can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh. Every $10 donation gets you entered one time. So you can get in $50, get you in 5 times. But Venmo at Oreo Josh, givesendgo.com /Oreo 2024, Cash App, $ Oreo Army. Or if you prefer Zelle, and I think we got a Zelle from old Uncle Bill earlier, I'm going to check that out. If you want to do Zelle, go to our website, theoreoexpress.com. There's a donate now button. We would appreciate your blessings, guys, again, as you guys have kept us going this long, and we want to stay afloat. So I want to say thank you to everybody who helps out and contributes. Now back over to some of the other craziness. These are all the hands off, guys. These are the people. Oh, my God. Here's another group of white folks. Look at this. Again, I don't know how old. I'm probably going to say close to 90 out here. This was going. She got her walker and everything else. This was going viral. And it says, vaginas brought you into this world. Vaginas will vote you out. Now, I'm not saying this. I'm saying this not in a hurtful way, or I want anything bad to happen to these people. I don't. Many of these people, I would say that woman there, she's probably being out at that age with that sign. She's probably been a lifelong commie. But there's many people out there that have believed the fake news, that on their social media feed, on Facebook, and all their liberal friends, they're talking about cutting Social Security. Yeah, guess what? We're not going to have medical here pretty soon. Why? Because Donald Trump's taking it away. Actually, what Donald Trump is doing is he is, and we're going to talk about the tariffs in a minute, he is forcing other countries to be fair trade partners. You know, Democrats have always used, we need a fair world. The world's not fair. We know that. You know, they want equal outcome, not equal opportunity. That's what they've been fighting for a long time. And some of these people, they've just been duped. They believe the hype. Again, just like in 2016. If you remember 2016, there was so many people. I had friends that when they see me wearing a MAGA hat, they're like, are you for real? And I'm like, oh, absolutely. And then they would start telling me they didn't, you know, people don't realize this is what I do for a living. I spend a lot of time looking up this stuff. I read this stuff. When I'm not live, trust me, I'm posting stuff and I'm trying to find the truth to things. And then I would run into them like 2.5, 3 years later. And they still weren't on board with Trump. And then once Biden got in office, I run into him now. And I'm looking like, where'd you get your MAGA hat? You know? And they're like, dude, this is crazy, huh? It's the same thing. I talk to a lot of my neighbors, a lot of my friends, and a lot of people out and about. Just like, to give you an example, we showed you this picture here. This was me and Caden at Big Hat Days. And that's what I was wearing Saturday. Now, Clovis is a majority conservative area, but when we have Big Hat Days, people come from all around. I always say Clovis sometimes nowadays is starting to turn into Fresno for 6 hours, and that can be good. That can be bad, if you know what I mean. But I was with my sister, Rach, and Caden, and we're walking around. The most outspoken voices that came up to me said, I love what you're wearing. I love your hat. They weren't white. They were black. We go by this one booth and this dude, man, and he comes out. He goes, I love that. I love that. He goes, let me ask you a question. I was like, what's that? On a scale of 1 to 10, how well you think he's doing? I said 12. He said, damn, that's a better answer than I would have gave. I was thinking 10. Then I run over by the food court. Another dude comes up. And again, it sucks that I have to say it like this because again, when I think when you're just an average American, skin color shouldn't matter, but Democrats have weaponized skin color. I don't see somebody walking down the street and judge them by the color of their skin. I look at them as just another human that bleeds red. And I think you guys know that if you've looked at all my partners I've worked with and everything else, and a majority of my friends, they're not white. And so it was interesting to see that. A lot of people said they loved the hat. The Trump booth. I want to show you this really quick, and then we're going to get back to hands off because, again, they want you to believe one thing, but we're kind of showing you another. Take a look at, they had this Trump booth over there, the Patriot Supply booth. And if you guys can look here, and I can't zoom in, but if you look all the MAGA hats, you see all these people waiting all the way down. And then you go here, they're selling stuff. There's nobody in front of those booths. I turned around and I told my sister and Rachel, I was like, look. And I go, now look behind you and look at all the people at the Trump booth. I mean, all these places lined up down Pulaski. I mean, a lot of them are busy, don't get me wrong. But in this particular area, we're going down and they might have 1 or 2 people browsing in the shops, 1 or 2 people looking at this. And you go up to the Trump booth and there's, I don't know, 16, 18 people there and people waiting to get help. Just absolutely crazy. I did try to trigger him a little though. When I walked up, I'm wearing all this and they don't see me. And I was like, hey, look at all these fascists. And like 4 or 5 of them turned around real quick to see who said it. And it was me. Let's see. What's the next one? Let me see if Don't think we've covered this one either. So again, we're dealing, this is what MSNBC, CNN, and the Democrats' talking points are now. This is what they are. And this is what we're seeing out there. This is definitely hands off, guys. Hands off. Look at this old lady right here. Look at, there's her partner and the mobility scooter. This must be a hands-off protest, right? But you know what? I'm just going to tell you. You won't find this on lamestream legacy media. If somebody in a Trump hat did that, you would have CNN, MSNBC, David Muir would blush on World News Tonight. But, oh, it's Democrats. We know what they do. We understand what they do. Crazy, guys. Crazy. How about this one? They are the most evil, vile people, and I've been to a lot of rallies. I used to think, and I've told you this, when we would go out, some of the worst protesters, the most vile protesters were, and this not exaggerating, were the animal rights activists like PETA and stuff. When we would go to San Francisco and film those back in 2015, and the things they would say, the things they would do, you know, they were like off with their heads. They would hold like pictures with bullet holes in somebody from like Tyson Foods or a chicken plant or something like that. And I'm like, these MFers are crazy. But I think these take the cake now because again, why? Those same people in San Francisco in 2015, now they're trying to make one large group. That's how they're trying to do it. These people, you know, and Democrats are much better at this than Republicans because you know what? You can get people that are for pro-life. They want to protect children, and you ask them to go to a Second Amendment rally, and they won't show up. Or same thing, Second Amendment rally, you know, these people, they are just focused on their one thing and they won't help out another group. That's been pretty common.
Tell us what you mean by this.
Take a listen.
Tell us what you mean by this.
Well, I mean that it won't fix all the problems, but it sure is a great start. That Liberation Day should not be connected to what he has done. That is not liberation. And I just hope for this country that we can rise above this. And the good way to start might be to have somebody leave. So, you know, we can all hope.
Do you wish that guy never missed?
Yes, 3 inches. Who would have ever thought that I would be so excited about, getting an additional 3 inches? But I really was hoping, and it would have really cemented the idea. I really regret that he wasn't on the target.
Do you think another attempt will happen?
Oh, I sure hope so. I mean, this is the unfortunate part, that this whole debacle, this last 8 to 10 years has absolutely made me this kind of person. I would never have guessed that I would wish for the demise of another person, but I hope, I can't wait for it to happen. I think he'll be forever sealed and cemented in the minds of millions of people as some sort of deity, but not in a mine.
So that's what we are seeing across the country. These are the protests that Democrats are so proud of. That say we had so many people come out. This was what these people thought. Nobody said, hey, we don't stand with that. Hey, lady, take your sign and get out. Nobody. And she's hoping for another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. This is what we call, this is stage 5, folks. This is Trump derangement syndrome, stage 5. There is no cure for that. There is no cure for that. This person is beyond any stretch of the imagination repairable at this point. Because and someone says, well, what if somebody gets counseling? They shop their counselors. They look for the counselors that says LGBTQ friendly. You know, all this means you got a woke counselor, and the woke counselor says, oh yeah, tell me your problems. No, you have a right to feel that way. I feel that way sometimes too. Instead of, lady, you are crazy. You need to be in a padded room. You are the reason why we need to bring back mental health institutions again. This is insane, folks. Listen to what she says here. Listen to what, see if it pops up.
Tell us what you mean by this.
Well, I mean that it won't fix all the problems, but it sure is a great start.
So if Trump dies, but it's not about like him dying of a natural cause.
Liberation Day should not be connected to what he has done. That is not liberation. And I just hope for this country that we can rise above this. And the good way to start might be to have somebody leave. So, you know, we can all hope.
Do you wish that guy never missed?
Yes, 3 inches. Who would have ever?
Now, and it's unfortunate, and I tell people like this all the time. If I would have been out there, this woman needs a good night's sleep. She is up all night. Trump. These are the people that need to head over to mypillow.com. Use promo code Oreo. Get one of the MyPillows. Get the sheets. They have some great, comfortable sheets, and maybe get a good night's rest. But you got to use promo code Oreo, because if not, probably won't be a good enough sleep for her. So I want you to realize when you have fake news on in the background, and they're saying peaceful protest. These people were calling for the assassination of Donald Trump. These people were calling for the assassination of Donald Trump, guys. Again, I promise you, if I would have said during Biden's term, somebody needs to shoot that man or anything of that sort, you guarantee there'd have been a knock on my door and I would be harassed and everything else. Because you can't call for violence. You can't call for a death of a president. That's, again, it's crazy. But what are these people doing there? What are they? Do they know? Let's find out.
What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
You gotta talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
I'm not really good into interviews.
Sorry?
He just does everything he wants, and not following laws, or he's a convicted felon. That's all I know.
But your sign says he's a fascist, and I'm just curious what makes him a fascist.
One of the things is that he's trying to control the media, right?
Say that again?
He's trying to control the narrative.
How is he trying to control the media? Doesn't every president try to control the narrative?
They try to control their own narrative, but one of the things that Trump has done, for example, is the renaming the Gulf of Mexico, and then not allowing the Associated Press to come into the White House. Basically, trying to get.
What are your feelings about him renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America when a majority of the Gulf is in fact on the coast of America as opposed to Mexico?
I mean, it's kind of pointless. People.
Is it pointless?
Yeah, people call it the Gulf of Mexico.
Don't you think it could have a positive tourism impact potentially?
Tourism has been down heavily.
So I don't want to get into a tourism debate. My question is, the sign says the fascist Trump regime must go.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious what makes him a fascist. You pointed out that maybe something about his relationship with the media, he wants to control it, but how? Again, you're calling him a fascist.
Yeah, well,
what makes him a fascist?
One of the core tenets of fascism is creating an enemy, right, and blaming those problems on
What's
the enemy.
that?
So the paper gave me,
Who gave you that?
The people that gave me the sign. It's a free sign.
Oh, someone gave you the sign, and then they gave you the handout. So are you reading it now to try to answer the question?
Yeah, but I mean,
can I see that? Can you hold that up?
I'm
just curious.
Maybe you can have it.
I can have it?
Yeah, you can have it.
All righty. So where did you get the sign?
All the way in the keeper's house.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just pretty cool.
And that's another one? They gave you 2 pieces of paper? Can I have that one too?
Yes, you can have both.
Oh, okay. So what brings you guys out here today?
Just because I saw people were hanging out with people. For,
Yeah, same thing as everyone else, executive overreach.
Man, guys, that's very interesting. I find it very interesting. So he's a fascist because he renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and that reporter actually very good in that response when he says, "Well, it borders more of America than it does anything else, so it pretty much is the Gulf of America." They don't know why they're out there. Again, it's a psyop. All they want is to have optics. Democrats have always played on optics. Trump plays on optics too when it comes to his rallies, and there's lines, and we're out there and we're covering the lines that are miles long to get in his rally, and no other politician has even gotten close to that. They tried to do it for Kamala Harris when they paid millions of dollars for performers to show up, and even then it took buses to bring people in from out of the area. You can't make this up. These people have no clue why they're out there. Again, they're giving them things too. This is why you hate Donald Trump stuff. This is why you hate Donald Trump stuff, right? You guys, this is absolutely insane. Let me pop this up really quick and pay for our next protein drink. The sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they felt the pressure from the Biden-Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by government like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means, believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you do not have the means, we are just happy you are here to watch us on Rumble. So go check out Rumble Premium, guys. Use promo code STUDIO. And again, that helps us out here. We're great. We're grateful that you guys share us, that you like the live streams, that we're able to be in your households and on your roads and at your office today. And we just want to say thank you so much. So check this out. Again, why are you here? Why are you out? You know, the media won't cover this. Democrats don't want this to be shown. So let's find out.
To show solidarity with each other, for one thing, and make sure that we know that other people feel the same way we do, to build a movement and to let our voices be heard by the people in power.
The event also featured musical performances from a variety of local groups, including the Asheville Gay Men's Chorus and Women's Song of Asheville.
There's that pro-Hamas flag again. And again, if you look, a lot of white. I've been to Asheville, North Carolina, and you're probably not going to go to another place with that many white people in one area. And this post was from Matt Van Swall. How many remember when we went to Asheville, North Carolina, 10 days after Hurricane Helene? And again, they wouldn't have had any communications if it wasn't for that fascist donating all those Starlinks and even cyber trucks to power generators and power things over there for them, because our federal government was inept. It's just crazy. It's crazy. These people, they will eat their own. They will eat their own. And then again, we have those selected ones. This is, to me, like the male version of AOC. Democrat Rep Maxwell Frost, who's always the poor me race card guy, the poor this. Listen to what he says right here.
We're all closer to being on the streets than having a bank account that looks like his. How do you think he got to where he's at? I have people who come up to me and say, Maxwell, why would they be stealing? Elon Musk is already the richest person in the world. He has enough money. The question is, how do you think he became the richest person in the world?
So Rep Maxwell Frost, a Democrat, again, tells you that the reason Elon was able to buy Tesla, buy all these companies, innovate like we've never seen innovation before is because he stole your money. Now, I don't know. Maybe we need to go out on the streets, do a man on the streets, go talk to people and ask them, have you filed a police report with Elon Musk for stealing your money? One thing Democrats have said is, well, he gets subsidies. Now, these subsidies were actually things that Republicans were against. Democrats 10, 15 years ago said you must buy a Tesla. They were doing the same things to gas guzzlers, what they call gas guzzlers, big trucks, 4x4s. They were doing the same things to those that they're doing to Teslas nowadays. So what happened? Democrats came together and they got all these incentives, a federal credit if you buy a Tesla. Then states jumped on, like California, there would be an additional savings that if you purchased the best electric vehicle in the world, which is a Tesla, that you would get incentives there. And now they're saying that was Elon stealing money. He didn't ask for that. He didn't push that. Trump ended that. The subsidies for electric vehicle manufacturers. But again, they don't have any solid facts on anything that they are currently saying. And it's all scare tactics. And again, that's the reason why you see a majority white senior citizen crowd out there. There were some of them are old school commies, but some of them are actually worried that they believe CNN, they believe David Muir, they believe all the lies of legacy media, which has been dying, which as soon as we can, I'm praying that we stop big pharma advertising on these networks. It was kind of funny. I'm going to go off topic for a minute. So last night we were watching America's Funniest Home Videos. So on Sundays, Caden loves America's Funniest Home Videos. He sits there and cracks up. Even the dogs, they bark at the dogs on the TV. So it was comes on at 7 o'clock. So we had just finished eating dinner, and so we sit down, and then it was time for him to get ready for bed. It's 8 o'clock. And I flipped through the channels, and The Simpsons were on in the background. And it was actually, I wish, I'll see if I can find it online, because I wasn't watching it, but I was walking by as the TV was on in the background. And it was kind of funny because they were doing a skit on, most of the show was about Ozempic. But they compared Ozempic and portrayed it in the light of the COVID jab. And they were talking about how everybody, people are, the people are, it brings it to a newscaster, and the newscaster says, it wasn't called Ozempic, it was something else, but it sounded like Ozempic. It is perfectly safe and healthy. And now over to our sponsor. And the sponsor was obviously the drug maker of that medicine they were pushing on everybody. And it was just absolutely hilarious. Like you can't get any better. Well, check out these people. I think this is outside of the White House in DC. Take a look. Looks like they got Trump on a noose. Oh, let's refresh that. Again, these people are, it's going to get bad, guys. It's going to be bad. These are the people firebombing Tesla dealerships. These are the people keying the Tesla cars. There was also a little bit more, again, I'm sorry, this one, like some of the stuff we have to put on the show to show you. I hope you're ready. Let me turn on the comments for this one. Let's see, live. Take a listen here. You can't make this up, guys.
She really stand on business. She said, fuck Trump. She really stand on business. She said, fuck Trump.
You've seen it all. I've seen it all. We've had to put it all on the podcast. Again, just absolutely normal people that are concerned about Social Security and Medicare, guys. That's what these protests were about. Who was that? Red Wave, make insane asylums great again. That's what we need to do, folks. And I have a feeling by next year we will. People, again, this does not represent even close to a majority of Americans. This probably represents about 10% of Americans that have stage 4 to stage 5 Trump derangement syndrome, Elon derangement syndrome, now Tesla derangement syndrome. There's even a good portion that have Oreo derangement syndrome out there. Someone said, Steve says, I hope she don't have kids. If she does, she's trying to trans them. If she does, she's at those school board meetings saying teachers have all the right to take away her parental ability. It's insane. How about this one? More white folks. And then the 8647, guys. Now, you know what that means, death to the 47th president. But again, look at those folks. You got a white woman holding a free Mahmoud Khalil. You got that woman right there with the 8647, and then this guy that has the no to tariffs. Again, let's go all through this. The woman on the left wants people promoting terrorism, standing by a terrorist organization that wants the destruction of the United States. Now, this is not a citizen. Wants that person that organized these protests that destroyed our college campuses to be free and to live out his life here in the United States. The one in the middle, that woman wants Trump dead. And then the tariffs. This person, probably same guy that'll hold up a Ukrainian flag or a Hamas flag and support those countries more than they've ever supported the United States of America. Which one was that? Hopefully that one didn't go away. Let's see. Let's see what we got coming up. I think we're almost to the end of this. Yeah, I'm glad I remembered this. Give me 1 second. So there was places again, and we'll get to a couple arrests or some assaults. Oh, let's not forget that. Is this it? There's another one. That Big D's truck was keyed and stickered. I'm gonna try to get down to DC. We need to have some fun down there, but I don't know when it'll be. It definitely won't be this month. So over in where was this? Lafayette, Indiana. A protester got out of his vehicle. Or not a protester, a Trump supporter got out of his vehicle and was doing exactly what those folks were doing. And someone came up and assaulted him, head bunted him in the face. I want you to watch this. There's a lot of edited versions showing a Trump guy in a Trump hat getting out and with a gun. Well, again, we have guns for a reason, and that's if you assault me. Guess what? I have the right to defend myself, especially with an angry crowd of people. Take a look at this. They were blocking his truck. They were blocking his truck. They have his hands all over him, and look. Well, you FA'd. Now it's time to FO. So he goes to his truck and he gets his handy little piece right there. He's telling his wife to call 911. He was just assaulted for his First Amendment, and now he's carrying his Second Amendment. Guess what?
Let's go!
Wow.
Blocking traffic, circling his vehicle. He gets out, says, move the F out of the way, gets assaulted. Again, folks, I'm going to say this. We need laws. If you want to intentionally block a vehicle when they have a green light, it's the pedal on the right. We will get rid of so much scum cockroaches in this country. It is ridiculous that these people are allowed to do this. Listen to this. Let's finish this up, and I think we have another angle. His nose is bleeding right now from being headbutted, and that's why he keeps wiping his face. Okay, let's watch this part again. So again, so far, I didn't see anything where the Trump supporter has broke the law at all, but they need to find that piece of scum that headbutted him. I'm sure there's going to be some video, but guess what? Democrats are making this out to be some angry Trump supporter. You were blocking his freaking vehicle. He should have just hit the gas. I am telling you that, you know what? Again, smart move not to hit the gas, because I'm sure there would have been, I don't know. There's no colored people, as the left would like to say, but there's liberals. So they're a protected species, right? These folks, I think we have some other videos here. Let me see other angles.
Protect the Constitution.
See, this is how they're editing it. This is how they're editing it. I just want you to see. They cut out the whole first half of what happens and show him getting out of his vehicle with a gun.
Protect the Constitution. Protect the Constitution.
Look at him bleeding, busted nose.
911.
911. Sir, you're out of your car. You jumped out of your car because you are blocking the traffic. Please go.
No, he's going to take off.
I got it on.
So listen to that.
Yeah, this is really good for the people of love and compassion.
Fuck off. Get
deported.
The guy says, F off, you instigated. No, you blocking traffic was the instigator here, pal. You are all scum. Like you are, if I walk on my lawn and step on shit, that is you people.
You're going to jail, point blank. You guys are blocking the traffic. I tried to circle my block, and you fucking
Deplatform fascists. 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 You're not. Deplatform fascists. Deplatform fascists.
I will keep an eye on you. Get his license. Get his license plate.
By the way, yeah, he has a gun. That's what the Second Amendment was made for, folks.
Protect the Constitution! 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 Protect the Constitution!
The Constitution, the ones that they're trying. We are protecting the Constitution. The right to bear arms shall not be infringed.
Protect the Constitution! Protect the Constitution! Protect the Constitution!
When seconds count, they're minutes away.
And I just want to show you another thing. I want to tell you couple things right now. If we were truly a MAGA party, there's a couple things that would happen here. And we're going to get more information on this on our second show. But I'm going to talk about the reason why this can go on and police are nowhere to be around, because these are leftist protests. And just like Sergeant Chadwick, Brian Chadwick of Fresno Police Department, when we went over, when they had someone impersonating an officer outside the Fresno Tesla, there's FBI investigations going on these people. There's there's fire bombings, and they said, we're not going to enforce the law because we don't want to incite these folks. So because of this, there's no police around. Why? Because police will be assaulted, because the leader of their police chief and probably their mayor is a bunch of cowards. Instead of saying, guess what? We're going to keep these people out of the streets. We're going to allow them to exercise their First Amendment rights, but we're going to have them do it lawfully. No. The police hide around in alleys, and they're stationed in alleys, just like when we're in Sacramento and Transtifa comes out and they start assaulting journalists. And not just that, we'll get to the rest of it. Let me pull this. Let me finish this.
Like he had a
Oh, come on. Yay!
So another thing, and we're going to cover this in the next show. This man will probably be the one that gets charged. I'm sure the guy that assaulted him, that made his nose and his face bleed, probably police won't even look for that person. But we just had, because of the color of their skin, a black person stab a student at a track meet. And there's a GoFundMe or a GiveSendGo for this person, and it's already reached, I don't know, close to $200,000 for somebody that's suspected of murder because of the color of their skin. We see this when there's a Republican in office. I'll be honest, if it was under Joe Biden, that GiveSendGo or that GoFundMe, whatever it is, would be up to $20,000 right now. But I think it's almost up to $200,000. We're going to cover it on our next show. But let me ask you a question. If we are truly a MAGA movement and we truly stand together, I guarantee this guy's ass is out there alone, and everybody from 4 hours away should be in this town ready to play ball. If the police won't do their job, somebody's got to. You want to block the streets, we're going to pull you out of the streets. That's when things change in this country. When 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 patriots show up at their next little hands-off rally, that looked like hands-on to me. And I hope that scumbag that did it, and we're going to do more research after this show to follow up, but this is absolutely disgusting, guys. This is disgusting. There was another video here. I think this is
911.
911. So I'm gonna keep this up. We're gonna talk about it again. These are the things that infuriate me. Again, the tolerant left assaulting people after surrounding a man's vehicle, after assaulting him, after blocking the roads. You are not the victims. Again, you are the crap, the dog crap on the bottom of American shoes. Crazy, man, crazy. So we'll move on a little. Oh, check this out. Outside the ICE detention facility, or the ICE facility, this same day, this was from Freedom News TV, had their vehicles vandalized in Washington, D.C. But again, this is the party. About security, I'm no longer talking about. That is a Department of Homeland Security vehicle, guys. But it's all right, guys. It's all right. These are just your normal, everyday, average Americans. And once again, we're proving they're not. Really quick, let me throw this up there. And then we will get on with the rest of the show. We haven't even gotten to tariffs, and we've been an hour and 37 minutes, so we got to hurry. Weak coffee is for the weak. And at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity, just like 1775 coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness. And Vitality Mushroom Blend, real energy and lasting focus, no synthetic garbage. For K-Cups, pods, whole beans, or fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use promo code STUDIO. You'll get 15% off your order and start your morning with a coffee that stands for something. And every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash. So head over to 1775coffee.com, guys. Use promo code STUDIO. Now let's move on as we're almost to the tariff part now. What a long show. So Mr. Andy No tweeted this again. I told him this was the first one I pulled up. We're gonna, I don't know if we'll cover this again in our next show. But it says, at the hands-off anti-Trump Musk rally in Portland, Oregon on April 5th, a protester named Amber Dawn Reed allegedly attacked and vandalized a Portland fire and rescue truck in downtown. Reed allegedly tried to escape on foot, but was found and arrested. She was charged with felony first-degree criminal mischief. She also has an outstanding warrant for her arrest for another crime. She was released the same day from custody. Take a look. This is her right there, Portland police. So unfortunate that we have to arrest people, right? I know, Amber. Again, Amber Dawn Reed, 47 years old, man. Think about that. Imagine being 47 years old and having such a miserable life that your daily goal and your objective is to go out and vandalize a fire and rescue truck. I don't know. So again, I'm sure Andy will keep us updated on that. And then let's get over, try to get it done 20 minutes. So there was some fake news going around. Again, we've seen that. Remember last week it was breaking news. Musk is leaving the Doge team, departing from Trump's, group. Was fake. Now, there's another one that Trump is pausing tariffs for 90 days. No, not at all.
Are, quote, fake news. That from the spoke to Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, on the phone just a short time ago, and she tells me it is, quote unquote, fake news that the White House is considering a 90-day pause. So the White House pouring cold water on this idea, wherever it came from, that they're considering a 90-day pause on tariffs, saying that the president is committed to his tariff regime, and any reports that he's considering a 90-day pause are, quote, fake news. That from the White House press secretary on the record just a short time ago to me on the cell phone here as we try to sort through where this came from.
They're actually worried about where fake news came from. Again, unidentified sources. It's just great. It's just great. What else do we got here on the tariff wheel? Democrats hammered the president for spending the weekend golfing rather than responding to Americans' fears that their retirement are plummeting with the markets. Again, he'll tweet about this, the Panicans. You guys know we're Americans, we're patriots. They're the Panicans. He did more on that golf course and the time he was there than Biden did for this country that whole time in office. I mean, Biden did a lot of bad. We know that. I just love the fake news and everything else. Take a look. I think it's this one here. So remember, this is going to hurt America. This is going to hurt America. We're out on an island all our own. Why does this thing keep doing that? Hold on. Let me refresh this so I have your chats down here. In case Rockstar has a hernia. So this is going globally now. So the stock market went down. That's uncertainty, fear, and panic in the stock market. You have 90% of legacy media, 90% of media in general saying this is bad. This is going to hurt you. It's going to kill your retirement. It's going to do all this. You're going to lose your job. All fake news. And then AP pointed this out today, breaking. Dow drops 1,200 points and global markets tumbles as worries deepen about the economic impact of President Trump's trade war. So now other countries are feeling the effects. Now other countries are looking around like, what do we do? What do we do? We thought we could be strong. We thought the Democrats in the United States would stand up for us. We thought the Democrats in the United States would win. What are the Democrats doing? That's what they're saying in China. That's what they're saying in all these places around the world, because Democrats were supposed to be standing for other countries. And now we're seeing that happening. And we're going to talk about some of this stuff. Is it this one here? It says, Donald Trump, the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking. A new party based on weak and stupid people. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the results. Patience is a virtue, folks. We called this out 8-9 months ago. We said when he gets in and he implements this stuff, again, it's not going to be, oh, I implement it, and all of a sudden we have trucks, garbage trucks pulling up to our homes with loads and loads of gold bars. That ain't how it's going to be, especially when the Democrats, just like, you know what this reminds me of? Remember when Trump says, hey, we have a serious fentanyl crisis on our border. We have illegals coming in. We have terrorists coming in. We have murderers coming in. And this is going to affect our population. This is going to hurt the American people. So I'm asking for, what was it, like $5 billion? You know, like 1,000th of 1% of what we gave Ukraine. And Trump said this, listen, Democrats, we'll meet in the middle. I will make a deal with DACA if you help me fund the border wall. What Democrats say? Nope. They fought for open borders the entire time. Then Biden gets in there, millions, over 15 million illegals in, multiple people murdered, multiple fentanyl overdoses, trillions and trillions of dollars going to illegal aliens while Americans are suffering, right? This is very reminiscent of that time. We have an opportunity to put America first, put American citizens first, and stop subsidizing other countries. That's what we're doing. The subsidies that they don't like Elon Musk to have, they want China to have. Imagine that. And so Trump put that, and then he had another statement here. I think this is the statement. Let's see. About China. Take a look at this. Yesterday, China issued retaliatory tariffs of 34% on top of their already record-setting tariffs. Non-monetary tariffs, illegal subsidization of companies, and massive long-term currency manipulation, despite my warning that any country that retaliates against the U.S. by using additional tariffs above and beyond their already existing long-term tariff abuse of our nation will be immediately met with new and substantially higher tariffs over and above those initially set. Therefore, if China does not withdraw its 34% increase above their already long-term trading abuses by tomorrow, April 8th, 2025, the United States will impose an additional tariff on China of 50% effective April 9th. Additionally, all talks with China concerning their requested meetings with the U.S. will be terminated. Negotiations with other countries, which have also requested meetings, will begin taking place immediately. Thank you for your attention in this matter. Could you imagine if China did this to Biden? Biden would have came out, wouldn't have took questions, but would have came out and said, we support China. We support China and their trade deals. We can't affect China. We need to send more manufacturing over to China. On the other hand, Trump's saying UFA, UFO, and that is good news. This was another one. I love this. ABC 7. Watch live. Global stocks plunge as the world reacts to Trump's tariffs. So if they want something to change, do you think they'll come to the table? This is, again, what Trump's team knew would happen. But again, the world was counting on Democrats. China wanted to keep their tariffs, wanted to keep stealing our manufacturing. And the only thing they had was Democrats. And don't get me wrong, the Democrats are still fighting for China. They're not fighting for American manufacturers. They're not fighting for higher wages. They might be high. You have them saying, let's give a fast food worker $25 an hour, but they're not fighting for manufacturers and jobs that actually will train you and put you in positions that earn $25 and $30 an hour. That's not what Democrats want. Remember, equal outcome, not equal opportunity is the Democrat slogan. It's amazing that we continue to see all this to happen, but we got some interesting news coming up too. Don't worry. Let's see what the next one is. Listen to this, a little education piece.
And reset it against all our. The point is, you need to reset the power of the United States of America and reset it against all our allies and our enemies alike. The idea that all the countries of the world can run trade surpluses with America and buy our things with us. Remember, $1.2 trillion. In 1980, we were a net investor, meaning we owned more of the rest of the world than they owned of us.
Yeah, it's a different world.
And now,
it's a different market.
now they own $18 trillion of us net. So that means the rest of the world.
You hear Face the Nations try to say, well, it's a different world now. He has a very good point. Listen to what he says about these percentages.
Our things with us. Remember, $1.2 trillion. In 1980, we were a net investor, meaning we owned more of the rest of the world than they owned of us.
Yeah, it's a different world.
And now,
it's a different market.
now they own $18 trillion of us net. So that means the rest of the world, every year when we run a $1.2 trillion deficit, the rest of the world buys $1.2 trillion of America, and it goes up and up and up. And eventually we're not going to own America, and we are going to be owned by the rest of the world. Imagine if we had a war and we can't build a ship, we can't fly a plane, we can't build our own planes, we don't have our own semiconductors. This is what the president is here to fix for America. It's in his hand.
You see how CBS... it's not the same market anymore. No, we gave away America. We gave away our wealth to other countries because of bad trade deals and paying their tariffs and not giving them reciprocal tariffs. And anybody that can't understand that, I'm sorry. Let me see. I don't know what that one was. That one went back to bookmarks. Let me see. We got some more for you. So we've already got some wins. And again, they're going to be coming like dominoes. Taiwan has agreed to drop all tariffs on the United States, joining India, Israel, Vietnam, and Cambodia. Let me say that again. Taiwan has agreed to drop all their tariffs on the United States, joining India, Israel, Vietnam, and Cambodia. Over 50 countries have called to negotiate. Listen to this.
That they bear. I got a report from the USTR last night that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. But they're doing that because they understand that they bear a lot of the tariff. And so I don't think that you're going to see a big effect on the consumer in the U.S. because I do think that the reason why we have a persistent long-run trade deficit is these people have very inelastic supply. They've been dumping goods into the country in order to create jobs, say, in China. I got a
Beautiful. Beautiful, but there's more. There's more. And again, once these deals start breaking, it's going to force other countries to be like, we better get on that. Look at CNN. Look at CNN. Europe is ready to negotiate with the U.S. and offered to scrap tariffs on industrial goods, the European Union chief says. It's called the art of the deal, folks. And when you assemble some of the greatest minds in the world to try to bring America back to the top, well, other countries will come bow down. Let's see. Is this it? Is this it? Is it the one we wanted to show you? Listen to this. EU President Ursula von der Leyen, I think. Europe is ready to negotiate with the U.S. We have offered for zero tariffs for industrial goods. Listen.
So we keep it on the table. We stand ready to negotiate with the United States. Indeed, we have offered 0 tariffs for industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners, because Europe is always ready for a good deal. So we keep it on the table. But we are also prepared to respond through countermeasures and defend our interests. We stand ready to negotiate.
Another person that's probably disappointed they had to make that comment. Again, if you went around and polled Democrats across the world in these communist countries like China, the Democrats are polling really bad. Why? Because they were supposed to stop these tariffs. They were supposed to put America last and fight for foreign countries. It's exactly what they're there to do. And it's just insane that we keep seeing this. And we're not going to get into a lot of it. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. But this was the New York Post. A huge win for the American people. Senate passes Trump budget framework to begin process of ending taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. So those people that say Trump's cutting Social Security, actually he's cutting taxes out of your Social Security. You just can't make this up. You can't make Trump is actually working for the American people, the citizens of these United States. And it was kind of funny. Speaking of overtime, my daughter got home from work last night and got overtime at work. And I'm sure she will enjoy that fact that when all this goes through, she gets to earn that money. She gets to earn that money. Instead of having the government take it and send it to other countries for transgender operas or circumcisions. All right, guys, check this out. Before you go, we got one person that entered that I see. I have to double check, but it looks like one person that entered our raffle. And again, it's the beginning of the month, and we do need your blessings in order to continue. So if you guys want to help out, we have a raffle going on that we're going to do at the end of this week. We do it live here on the show. So check this out. These are the items. It is a MAGA galore item list. And we have the Donald Trump lives here stamp. So when you get those bills, you can put that on those bills and make sure you trigger people, guys. You have the Keep America Great. The Trump koozie, I think, is excellent. Take that to your 4th of July party or all these spring barbecues that are coming up. Keep your soda or your crisp beer All cool. And then this sign is 12. It's a foot tall. It says, notice, this place is politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas, one nation under God. We salute our flag and give thanks to our troops. If this offends you, leave. Great thing to have there. And one other item is the We the People have had enough sticker. And we are done with these Democrats. We are done with these fascist protesters and everything else. If you guys want to help out and get in on the raffle, we would appreciate it. It's Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army. We have givesendgo.com /Oreo 2024. And we also have a Zelle link. If you want to use Zelle, which is the bank transfer app, you can do that. The link is over at our website at theoreoexpress.com. You scroll down a little and there's a donate now button. So we appreciate all the help, guys. We appreciate the blessings. We've been viewer funded. And again, the last couple months have been really tough for us. So if you guys want to help out, let us get at least halfway caught up. We would appreciate it. We love the supporters. We thank you. Oh, and I can't forget about this. And 2 of these are going to be going with you. Thank you, Renee. Renee sent these, the Trump bucks, these crisp, clean 2025 bills right here. So you will get 2 of those inside. I almost forgot about that. Thank you, Renee. Inside your raffle win. So if you guys want to get in, we appreciate you. We want to say thank you. We will have a show a little later, probably about between 3 and 4 o'clock Pacific, which is 6 and 7 o'clock Eastern time. And let me just check one more thing out, make sure we didn't get any that I didn't get a email about. I'm on. Doesn't look like Cash App. And sometimes they take a minute to load, but if I get any, I'll definitely tell you on the next show. Go to Cash App. Nope. And make sure. Go check the Zelle app really quick. And then we will go through all these at the end of our next show. So if I didn't call your name because it's slow processing, I will. Yes, that was old Uncle Bill. Thank you for your support, guys. And once again, we appreciate you all. We will see you a little later. God bless you all. And thank you for tuning in. Please share this out. Hit the like button before you leave. Again, it's all up to you guys. I'll do my part. You do yours. And we will have some fun here. We will have some fun here. So God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. And we will see you shortly.